Good morning, Kansas. It is 8:31 on this Saturday, July the 2nd. Very clear skies looking live over the Cake Studios here at 13th and West, and maybe a little bit of a chance for rain, but
maybe.
Hold our breath, right?
I'm trying to be optimistic with the forecast. I'm thinking if I go ahead and put it in, I was really toying with the fact we do have a slight chance for a few isolated storms as we head into the afternoon. I thought about not putting it in there because then it would be guaranteed to rain, because then the weatherman would look really dumb.
Right.
But I went ahead and threw it in.
There you go.
So we do have at least a slight chance for a few storms throughout the state as we head into the afternoon. In northwestern Kansas, already getting a few showers and a few rumbles of thunder this morning. Take a look at Cake's Viper 3D. Most of the activity along and north of I-70 from 283 to the west, and a few rumbles of thunder with a few new storms that have popped up just to the north of Goodland. Everything will continue to work its way off toward the east-northeast. The rest of the state, we do have just a few clouds into western Kansas. The rest of the state, lots of sunshine as we kick off this holiday weekend, and it's already pretty warm. 79 in Wichita and in Hutch, 79 also Great Bend, and 76 for you folks out in Dodge City. There's that slight chance for a few isolated showers and storms late this afternoon into the evening hours. The northern half of the state will see temperatures in the low to mid 90s with heat indices close to 100. The southern half of the state, another triple-digit scorcher. We'll say a high of 102 here in Wichita, and it looks like the heat will stick around for the next several days. Looks like a nice cool down coming up sometime in October, though. We'll talk more about the 7-day planner coming up.
Right, exactly. How about the 7-month planner? Okay, Tanner, thank you. Well, a 10-month-old child in critical condition this morning after nearly drowning in a hot tub. Authorities responding to a home on South Emporia yesterday afternoon. Wichita police say the girl's aunt and uncle lost sight of her for just a few minutes before they discovered her face down in the water. The child was reportedly wearing a flotation device, but somehow slipped out of it and climbed into the hot tub.
Right outside the back door. Aunt and uncle were out there with the child, and there's a pool, but the pool does not come into play at this time. It's just the hot tub.
Authorities say the hot tub was not on at the time of the accident, but was full of water. What authorities are calling a tragic accident at Cheney Lake leaves a woman dead. Authorities say the woman was wakeboarding when her sister accidentally ran over her in a boat. Deputies say the victim may be from Arizona. They have not yet released her name. Well, the 4th of July holiday bringing with it an expectation for packed parks this weekend. State lakes and parks beckoning campers and boaters to get out and celebrate. But this morning, the manager of Cheney State Park says he may not get the turnout he's hoping for. Cake's Chris Frank explains why.
A 3-day Independence holiday weekend, and you'd expect tens of thousands of people at Kansas parks and lakes like Cheney Reservoir here, but the park manager says there's still plenty of room for more campers.
It's hot. I don't know if we're going to be that busy or not.
Cheney State Park manager Jody Schwartz and his staff look forward to and prepare in advance for holiday weekends like this. Holiday weekends bring in a lot of the revenues from camping rentals and other fees that state parks need to help pay the bills.
I've been here a long time and seen some extremely busy weekends, and I don't know if it's going to be like that or not this year.
He says in years past, a 3-day weekend might result in 40 to 50,000 visitors to this park.
Visitation's been a little down this year, especially day use. Our camping's been good, but our day use hasn't been all that great.
He doesn't know where to pin the blame. The weather, high gas prices, poor economy. But at Snyder's Marina, Tamara Snyder is stocking her shelves in hopes of a big turnout. She figures the hot weather will stimulate sales of cold beverages.
It looks like we're going to have really hot weather, and the electric sites are just about full. So I think Heimerman's full and the west side is full. So I think it'll be a busy weekend.
She knows a lot of people work Friday, and so expects more visitors this weekend.
It's too hot to be walking around. We need to go swim.
Some early campers are getting a jump on the crowds and making this a 4-day weekend.
Yes, it's a good weekend to hang out with the family.
Christy Bain and her family's only disappointment is realizing fireworks are prohibited here. But other campers say there's still plenty of reasons to come for the holiday weekend.
Just hanging out, having a good time, and drinking some beer, floating out in the water.
So it's still early, and maybe by this weekend, spots like this will fill up with campers. The main thing is that everyone be safe and have a good time. At Cheney State Park, Chris Frank, Cake News.
And a warning to lakegoers this morning about the water at a different popular vacation spot. Authorities in Oklahoma warning of a blue-green algae outbreak at Grand Lake. They're urging people not to swim in the water, but they're not prohibiting it. The algae can cause a rash, fever, or gastrointestinal problems. New this morning, 4 departments responding to a house fire. That fire breaking out overnight southeast of Wichita. Crews arrived to find flames coming from a storage shed on the side of the structure. The fire also spreading to the home's garage. Firefighters reported hearing explosions, but haven't yet determined what was causing them. The cause of the fire is also still under investigation. There were no injuries reported. Police searching for who stole hundreds of dollars worth of fireworks in an overnight break-in. It happened Thursday night at the wholesale fireworks building on Meridian in Valley Center. This is the 3rd year in a row the same stand has fallen victim to thieves, and just last weekend 2 other stands were vandalized when someone cut holes through their tents. Well, a big welcome home for a Hutchinson Marine wounded in the war in Afghanistan. Mid-Continent was lined with family, friends, and strangers, all to give Corporal Kenny Kalish a hero's homecoming on this Independence Day weekend. KAKE's Deb Ferretz has the story.
Some cheered and clapped. Others stood at attention as Marine Corporal Kenny Kalish rolled down the concourse at Mid-Continent Airport Friday morning.
Welcome home, Kenny.
I wanted to be here to allow them back to Kansas for the first time.
The 22-year-old Hutchinson native is home for the first time since stepping on an IED in Afghanistan in April.
I just remember kind of being in a dust cloud, my ears ringing, and that's about it. And then my corpsman saying I'm going to be all right.
He lost part of both legs and his left arm, but he hasn't lost his spirit.
Can't really complain because complaining doesn't grow limbs back, so I'm just going to be the same person I was before, and I'll have new limbs here pretty soon.
Members of the American Legion Riders, most strangers to Kalish, came to say thank you to the wounded warrior for his service.
I didn't expect it to be this at all. To see this extent, that truly means a lot to me. But I truly hope they know that I really do appreciate it.
I'm glad. I'm happy for him, for everything that he's done. I'm so proud of him. So.
And as Kalish loads up to head home to celebrate the 4th of July, a roar from his supporters is there to escort him.
And Kalish will be the Grand Marshal of the 4th of July parade on Monday morning in Hutchinson. Tuesday, he goes back to Texas for more medical treatment. In the newsroom, Deb Ferretz, KAKE News.
Kalish will also be honored as part of our Salute to Hometown Heroes at Lawrence Dumont Stadium tonight. It all begins with a Wingnets baseball game at 7. The Salute to Hometown Heroes is scheduled to start around 9, and the evening wraps up with a fireworks show. A special ceremony celebrating the next step for a Kansas priest on the path to sainthood. The Mass and closing ceremony for the Father Capon taking place last night at the Cathedral of the Immaculate Conception. The Catholic Diocese of Wichita showed off the box containing thousands of documents that show evidence for the cause for sainthood for Father Capon. That box now heading to the Vatican for review. Investigators say a partial human skull found in December is probably more than 100 years old. Duck hunters discovered it southeast of Great Bend last year. Forensic anthropologists study it and determined it's probably that of an American Indian who died in the 1800s. Coming up, it's green beer for the Irish. In Monaco, it's pink. We'll tell you why just ahead.
And it was another hot day all across Cakeland yesterday. Many folks seeing highs back up into the triple digits. Once again, 103 was the high in Wichita. 106 was the hot spot in Salina and also Great Bend. Looks like temperatures are going to be into the triple digits for some as we head through the holiday weekend. Look at the forecast coming up next.